Hello and welcome along to another YouTube production here at andyholmespeedfigures.co.uk. Andy here speaking ahead of A8 Brace programme at Dundalk again this afternoon on Monday, November the 23rd. We'll kick off with the 145. A decent looking maiden, one or two horses already shown a fair level of form here at this track, most notably Shackleton Hero from the Joseph O'Brien stable. Second to Zosimus here last time out, and that's rubber stamped his suitability to this track. He'd also finished a good third in a barrier trial here back in September. And his first run here at the track also wasn't too bad beyond Hallybop in quite a decent maiden. So he's racking up a useful sequence of results. Drawn in stall 2, he's going to be very difficult to beat. But similarly, I do think Cursory Exam has got similar claims. And given the prices sort of a 9 to 2, 5 to 1 for that one this morning, I'd probably just lean into the direction of backing that each way with the safety net of 3 places. He got beat by a horse called Going Global here last time out. It did some really good work from 6 out and 3 out, where I do all my sectionals from here at Dundalk. And Cursory Exam was the only one to go with that, improving Mickey Halford trained individual. They were 4 lengths clear of the third. The time figure was pretty good. So I'd probably just take a chance with him, like I say, from an each way perspective. On to the next race, the 220. A race I haven't really got a particularly strong opinion on. These nurseries here at Dundalk are viciously competitive, quite a few of them as well. Are coming here for the first time, so we don't really know where we stand there, and the figures don't really lead us in one direction or the other. So I'll skip that race and move over to the 255. Linus Larrabee is in really good shape, comes here off the back of a win here last time out, certainly deserved win as well. Edward Lyon's charge had been knocking at the door, but he wasn't drawn in stall 1. He very much had the run of the race. He's got stall 12 today, so I'd probably just go with Sunset Nova here, Andrew Slattery's charge, and just hope that he pops out the leaders on this occasion. He doesn't win very often, and some slow starts can affect his chances like they did here last time out. But he's got a similar body of work and a similar set of sort of time figures and sectional times as Linus Larrabee. So I'd sooner go with him each way. Top price 4 to 1 I've seen this morning as well. I think that's probably the way I'd go there, rather than take sort of 7 or 4 about Linus Larrabee. On to the 330. Very competitive race, but I really do like St George's Head. Clocked a big number here last time out. Was very strong and very, very on top in the latter stages. Really did power strongly to the line. I like the way he went clear in the latter stages. He likes to race prominently, which this track is lending itself towards very much at the moment. Still 13's a little bit tricky. It probably put me off going in gung-ho with him at a relatively short price, around about the 5 to 2 mark. But sometimes I actually don't mind the very wide draw right on the outside. It means you get a clear run around the outside into the first bend. And if you sort of slingshot the field, you should be able to get yourself into good position. It'll certainly mean that he'll hopefully come down the centre of the track, which is the best part of the course at the moment here at Dundalk, because the track's riding quite slow. So all in all, I think Kieran Cotter's got a decent chance of having another winner. His team is in excellent shape. 4 o'clock, this is the continuation of the saga of Bluebeard's Castle. I think I've tipped this horse about 3 or 4 times this winter. He hasn't got his head in front, but his time figures stack up certainly favourably in relation to a lot of the opposition he faces here today. A lot of them have just got, patchy profiles, very similar to him, really, to be honest. I don't really like that Swift Verdict. Tongue ties on for him for the first time for Willie Mullins. Swift Wing was well beaten in a modest race here last time out. So, like I say, there's not much strength in depth. I also didn't really like Terrain Angels' sort of finishing effort the other day. So, didn't look the most heartiest of battlers. So, I'll probably give Bluebeard's Castle one further go. He's certainly got enough form in the book and the time figures to suggest he should take the beat in there. 4:30, all depends whether Punk Poet really gets a trip here or not. He didn't the time before, but last time out, back to a mile, he was brilliant. He went to the front, he powered his way through the race. He won like a really good horse, but unfortunately, the handicapper hasn't missed him. He's put him up £14, so this is a much tougher assignment over a trip, which he's not proven on. Winner take it all probably is the obvious one here. He saddle slipped here 3 starts ago when he was well fancied, and then he was unlucky over hurdles last time out when he wrapped the top bar at the last, and he just got run out of it in the latter stages. He's clearly a decent individual when everything goes right. So I'll probably just go for him, but it isn't with a great deal of confidence because that Punk Poet, like I said, did improve rapidly last time, and it wouldn't be the biggest shock in the world if he was to piece it all together and maybe win over that trip, which he attempts for the second time. 5 o'clock, very competitive handicap here. Got lots of horses coming in reasonable shape, including Blackstone Cliff, who won deservedly last time because I believe he was a bit unlucky the time before. He was very, very good on the figures. He ran 2:03.5 for the circuit, which is really good. His come home time was pretty useful. And he's got a good draw here today. He does need a strong pace, though, because sometimes he can be a little bit free in his early part of his races. So whether that Killian O'Connell, which is obviously the son of John McConnell, can settle him enough in the early stages, it's just a little bit of a moot point. I've seen Killian, and obviously he's not as strong as some of the professionals. Whether he's the kind of right jockey for this horse, I don't really know. So I'd probably go with something each way, just in case. That's Bear With Me. Also ran on the same card 10 days ago. He finished fifth in the other division of the race that Blackstone Cliff won. And his time figures are very similar, to be honest. But he's got Gavin Ryan on. That makes a massive difference. I think stronger handling might just suit him. So again, at top price 15-2 this morning, I'd probably just not stay clear of Blackstone Cliff wholeheartedly, but I just think the value might be with Bear With Me. On to the final race, probably, I probably want to say one of my strongest views is in this last race. I do think Jack Mel, I beg your pardon, who comes in as the only winner last time out, has got a chance. But mile and a quarter first time, I wouldn't be absolutely convinced. Drawn wide, has to be ridden fairly aggressively. Whether he'll get the trip or not, I wouldn't be sure. But I'm pretty sure that Miss Thompson will. First time this horse tried a mile and a quarter here at Dundalk, was very good on the figures. Came home very strongly behind Turf Range and Hapog. Hapog ran well here last week. That's really solid form. Comes here off the same mark, nicely drawn. I do think Miss Thompson should go well. 7-1 top price this morning. The other one to mention is Magic Charm from the Natalie Lapini stable. Again, the horse has been threatening on the fringes of the action recently. They've dropped it back to a mile twice from running over a mile and a half. I think mile and a quarter could actually end up being its trip. Do keep an eye on the market for that horse this morning. Definitely threatening to win a race sooner rather than later. But Miss Thompson each way, that looks a strong pick in the final race. Okay, thanks very much for listening to this edition of the Irish Racing Podcast here at AndyHoldingSpeedFigures.co.uk. And hopefully you'll catch us again for another production later on in the week, where we're going to be continuing looking at the Irish action from Wednesday onwards. Until then, it's goodbye for me for now.